We're really glad to have Sally, and we're really happy to promote what she's doing. The strokes are are so important that they get it. You get somebody and get the help and get to the hospital. Well, I think that the 3 hour window is close, uh, and it's a matter. It is truly a matter of life and death.
Mhm.
So it's not to be taken lightly. Know what they are, know what the rules are, know the B's, and then Sally's going to talk to us about that
Yes.
now.
Thank you so much, Al, for inviting me. And yes, I have to emphasize how important it is that all of us know what to do when someone is experience a sign or symptom of a stroke. We have to remember that stroke is the fifth leading cause of death in the country, and 80% of strokes are preventable. I'm a firm believer that we have to try to prevent as many illnesses and diseases as possible in our capacity, obviously. But what we have to get across is a simple acronym: be fast. That stands for the signs that someone is having a stroke. I have many friends that have had strokes. Some of them called 911 right away, and they were able to give that, I call it the miracle clot busting drug, in the emergency room, and they resumed their life as it was before the stroke. And others, unfortunately, put their loved one to bed and realize 12 hours later that that person had a stroke. That really is for a lifelong handicap for that individual. So, my message to everyone is if there is a change in your loved one, what you need to know is to call for help. So, how do we call for help? We call 911. And I know people are very, very hesitant in calling 911, but I tell everyone that's their job, right? They're hired to be bothered. So when you say, oh, don't bother them, yes, bother them. That's what they're there for. Use them because you could save someone's life. So let's learn about the signs of a stroke. It's called Be Fast. Simple acronym: Be Fast. And what does that stand for? B is for balance, right? That person was standing a little while ago and they collapsed all of a sudden. They stumbled. They were perfectly fine. They stumbled. Okay, balance, check mark. The next one is eyes. They're complaining of vision problems. They never had vision problems. All of a sudden, they have vision problems, or they woke up with vision problems. You could remember, you can have a stroke anytime, day or night. You can wake up, and if you notice there is vision problems, you call 911 immediately. You may have had a stroke in your sleep. The next one is face. Can they smile? Is their face crooked? Is it lopsided? Are they complaining about numbness? So it's important to look at their face. The next one is A for arms. Have them hold out both of their, can they raise their arms? Hold out their arms. Does one arm drift? Okay. The next one is S for speech. Do they have a slurred speech? I have a good story to tell you. I was out to dinner with my girlfriends. We're all in like our early 60s, right? So one of my girlfriends was talking, and all of a sudden, her speech became totally slurred. We were like, oh, I said, call 911 right away. We did. They came, they took her to the hospital, they gave her that medication, and in 2 weeks, we were back having dinner again with absolutely no signs or symptoms or handicap from a stroke. I call it that miracle situation because we acted quickly. I knew she was having a stroke by her slurred speech. So it's important. And the last one for with T is time. Now, you might have heard from the American Heart Association that time means call 911, which is true. But also, we have added terrible onset of a headache because we're finding that some people, they all never had a headache, and all of a sudden they have this terrible headache that they feel like their head's going to burst and they're having a stroke. So remember that acronym, Be Fast, and never hesitate to call 911. That's my message.
Okay, thank you. That 80% is very important.
Yes.
80%. And Eileen is going to add some written so that you don't have to memorize everything that she just said. So thank you so much for being
You're-
with us.
Thank you for
helping us.
having me, Al.
You're welcome. You're welcome.